All right, let's see if everything's working here. Looks like that's working well. Okay, hopefully we're streaming everywhere we're supposed to be streaming and doing everything we're supposed to be doing correctly. It appears that it is, so let's move forward. Going to go ahead and get out the logistics aspect of it. Today we're going to be doing a web audit on a company called ManfredoDesigns. They're looking to try to rank in the Orlando area for the kitchen cabinet industry. So we're going to go through and do a live audit with that and kind of look things over. So if you don't mind, go ahead and make sure you do the old subscribe and so that way you can get more of this content in the future and see our audits. We'll do a different niche every week pretty much, and then maybe flip back over and start back over and do them again, looking at different companies every time. So let's get started here right off the bat, and let's go take a look at the snapshot report. All right, so right off the bat, we're going to go just start on the top here. As we see the listings, we have a fairly low score. Reviews, we have a low score. Social, website, we really don't have anything up in that A rating. And when we go back and we look at the site, up until now, it had not had an SSL. It is now secured. So that's a good thing that the site is now secured. Up until we met with them earlier this week, and this up here was, well, you can't see it, but it was not covered under an SSL. We can see here the domain ranking is 5, and so we just, we don't have a whole lot of keywords that we're ranking for, only 12. And when we look at the keywords that we're ranking for on this company, we're there's not many of them. Let's go in here and pull up. Actually, already pulled up right here. So the organic keywords that they're actually ranking for is Manfredo, Smithfield Vanity, and Slideshow 1. So none of these keywords are really going to get us up to where we were going to get calls for kitchen cabinets in Orlando or what have you. So that's kind of what we need to look at, is what we need to do to get there. As I stated right off the bat, the listings, they're not doing real well in the listing world. They have an F rating on that. Mainly because, as you can see here, and we'll go look at those listings real quick. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. So as we can see, we only have like a 7% in Yelp. We got errors, but when you go down the list, as you can see, there's just errors on every one of them. There's a couple of ways that this can be taken care of. One, like I've talked about, we have a listing tool that will go out and put all these listings in for them, and it will give them all their citations, all of that kind of stuff that they need, and it'll fix all this. And there's another tool that we have that's called listing distribution, which will again, got to kind of multi-stack these. These will distribute them, and then the Elysium list, the listing tool that I was talking about, will make sure that they stay correct. So what I'm saying there is this: is if they change their business hours or anything like that, change the phone number or anything, all this will get changed with our tool. Otherwise, the other way to do it is just to go through each one of these one at a time and go in and make sure that they're correct, audit them in, and make sure that they're straightened out. So that's the other way of doing it. But as we can, as I said, big step right here is get into these aggregators, and once you get into these aggregators, they'll help boost those citations as well. So there's the manual way, there's and then there's the tool way, which we offer. We offer both. I recommend the tool way, and mainly because it's not as expensive, and the manual way, if there's anything changed, you have to do it again manually, where with the tool you just do it in one spot and it does it all the way across the board. But not here to sell my tools constantly, but the thing is, as you can see, we need to get those listings, bumped up. Going next to reviews, we got some reviews going, not as many as we need. I've been posting a lot of content on my on Facebook and everything this week in reference to the importance of reviews. Reviews are what citations, like I've talked about in the past, give you that per se street cred, but reviews kind of makes it a little bit more personable. I can't remember the number right off the top of my head, but the majority of people, I know I do it. When I look at a restaurant or I look at a place of business, before I even go there, because I got to find out how to get there, I'll go to Maps. And whether it be Yahoo Maps, Google Maps, or what have you, majority of the people use Google Maps. But I'll go and I'll look and I'll see, okay, do they have what I want? A. And then what are people saying about them? Are they good? Are they a good company, a bad company? Are they rude? Are they nice? How is it? So I look at those reviews. And then believe it or not, and I don't know if it's just me or I think the majority of people do it as well, I scroll down and I look at how old that last review was. If that last review was 2 years ago, well, then that don't tell me a whole lot about the business today. So we want those reviews coming in on a continual flow. So, and we got to engage in those reviews. And we got to, again, we have a tool that'll do that. Otherwise, you just need to log into these platforms on a regular basis, these review platforms, and respond and communicate with your clients. That way, if they're not happy, you can communicate a way to fix it. You can learn from it and grow your business to be a better business from it. So reviews are really, to me, a critical aspect of our SEO at the end of the day. Social, when we go to social, again, their social is just not really their big thing, as you can read there. So we got to get that social built up, and get that, what they call the social clout. We got to have those social signals going toward the website. Again, Google looking at that, Yahoo looking at that, everybody will be looking at that, saying, okay, they've got good reviews, they got a lot of listings, and people are talking about them. So all of those things kind of help push that site to the top. So we got to, every aspect that we're talking about, every single one of them is critical. Without one, you risk not pushing yourself as high as you'd like. So, they're doing okay on Facebook. They could do better. We're not seeing a presence at all on Twitter. And again, not doing too well on Instagram. So we got to really push hard and get those social channels taken care of. One of the big aspects that we see is it's just a hassle. For example, these guys need to be building cabinets. They don't need to be sitting, pasting, doing social media. So we have tools that will handle that. There are other tools out there. Hootsuite is one of them that I know of that I've used that's a fairly good social tool. Also, if you're using WordPress, there's some tools out there, and we may do some reviews on those later. But there are some tools out there that we don't sell or are affiliated with, but they'll actually repost for you. So when you make a web post, it will grab snippets out of that web post and post it. And it'll just continually do that on a calendarly basis. So as long as you're posting stuff, it's posting it and to your social medias and just keeping that engagement up. So again, like I said, we got to get those social signals moving and going. Now, when we look at the website, there's some issues here. There's some things that need to be fixed. They're using passive voice, so that we don't need to do that. Make sure that things are visible on the front end web font load, server image, and next gen format. So some of some of the former, they're using some of the older image styles. Uh, Anyways, as you can see, and as you get an audit done by us, we'll send this out. I'm not going to go through every one of these, but this is basically something that you can hand to your developer and say, I need all these resolved. So that way we don't, this again, every little aspect makes a difference in the website speed and what have you. And you can see as I'm scrolling through that list, we cover just about everything there is that can be, that needs to be focused on our audit. And again, if you ever want an audit done, give us a shout. We have places on our website where you can get an audit done, and we can go through it there. So, and then, again, we have some, that was the mobile aspect here. And then now we're at the desktop aspect, and at the desktop aspect, we got some issues as well that we need to kind of pay attention to. The home page is a little big, not critically too large, but a lot of that could be dealt with mainly by that image issues that they were talking about. Get those images compressed and in the correct format in this homepage size to go down. And again, like it's saying, we're not finding Twitter, and the industry average of people having Twitter is 37%. So no video on that home page. So let's go back and look at that home page. We had this slideshow, and don't get me wrong, I like slideshows, but they're heavy. They're really heavy, and most of the time the scripting that's behind a slideshow is heavy as well. So what I would advise here is get rid of the slideshow and have a video. Having it can be a slideshow, but it's just a video. Maybe, and I wouldn't recommend music because music is a bad thing. So like I said, we want to maybe convert this to a video and instead of a slideshow, and that would resolve this. There's no video on the home page, so we definitely want to do that. And the thing is, when you do that, you want to do it and link it and put that video on like YouTube or something. That way we can create that linking structure to the home page. So when we SEO out that YouTube video, when we move that YouTube video to the top, that gives strong street cred that we have a top rank. This video that's on our home page is top ranked at the top, so it's going to help push that home page up as well. E-commerce doesn't fit this one, in my honest opinion. They're not selling those type of products. So an e-commerce is something that we would probably kind of skip over. Advertising. Now last week we looked at an AC company. This week we're looking at a kitchen cabinet company. And when we go in here and we look at that kitchen cabinet company, you'll see the cost per click for some of the keywords is very low. The average ticket value probably, I would assume, would be anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 on each job that they bid out. So that being said, on this particular niche with this particular company, I would advise them to run some pay-per-click ads. And when I would do that, I would make sure that landing page for that ad also has a Facebook pixel on it. So that way, for the first 30 to 60, maybe 90 days, we're maturing that Facebook pixel by the ads that we're running on Google. So what that does is later after that 90 days, it kind of pays the bills in the beginning because the cost per click is so low, and then we can start retargeting with an already defined and more mature pixel from Facebook, and now we got both platforms taken care of. Or we could cut back on the pay-per-click in Google and focus more toward, focus more toward the Facebook side of marketing, and maybe get that ROI down even a little bit lower. So as you can see, we kind of got some campaign, just kind of looks at the campaign performance. Candidates to Go is kind of one of their competitors, and they're out there kind of kicking it pretty hard. They're running a budget showing here about $39,000. The other two, they're not showing a budget at this point. But again, sometimes, don't get me wrong, I love my audit tool, but sometimes it doesn't capture all the data perfectly. Again, like I was saying, there's no retargeting. So like I said, for the first 90 days, I don't think that I would really focus on retargeting as much as I would developing and maturing that pixel on Facebook, and then later roll over and have some retargeting done. So on the SEO aspect here, as we can see, we're not ranking real well at all. In Ahrefs, they're saying, that we're ranking for 3 words. In our audit, it's saying that, that they're not really ranking at all. And the reason being is, the reason they're not ranking is this, the reason this is saying that is because of the fact that they're not ranking for anything that would actually get them a lead. So that's that. So there's the audit aspect of it. Now, look, like I said, looking at the website, one of the things I would do, I would turn this into a YouTube video. I would clean this font up and kind of make it a little more presentable. And then, when we go into the gallery slideshows, it doesn't need to be named slideshow. We need to try to attack some keywords in here instead of, slideshow 2019. That doesn't really tell Google anything. It could be a slideshow of an airstrip or a slideshow of your vacation. We don't have a clue. And then when we go into the services, the drop down here, again, I would say bathroom vanities. I would go after some of these key terms, that we're looking for. Cabinetry would be a service that I would have, or cabinets would have, be a kitchen cabinetry. You see what I'm saying? Kitchen and bath. Those are the kind of services that I would have in here. And then there are links here. Don't really understand what we're doing with this page, honestly. Maybe trying to build some outbound link structure. Here, as you can see, this kind of washes out. Need a better call to action in this area, I would assume. I would think. And then, as you can see, whenever it disappears, So instead of maybe, this being Donnie Bio, maybe we go, meet our team or something like that. And then leave a testimonial. It takes us to a form builder. Again, we have a tool that does this in our review management tool that gives you a little more professional look, and it keeps you, again, this URL structure is telling us really not a whole lot of anything. So we want to always make sure that our URLs are something that's going to lead us somewhere, in that keyword search world. So that being said, let's go look at the keywords that we want to go after. So when I went in and I did the audit, I obviously right off the bat said, okay, we need to go after that. They're a kitchen cabinet company, so we need to go after kitchen cabinetry. That's the first, the keyword that we want to look for. And of course, we want to focus. So we went to Kitchen Cabinetry Orlando. That's where we started our game. And when we look in here at Kitchen Cabinet Orlando, again, got a good search volume. This is something that would be good. Again, look at that cost per click, extremely low. And as you can tell, a lot of people are going for it. Now, when I go in and I do these, I'm trying to find content ideas, right? What do I need to write about? Well, the way I found out what I want to write about is right here. People also ask, what are the best cabinets for a kitchen? And I know some of these questions are like, well, there's a way to answer it. At the end of the day, if Google has the question, there's a way to answer that question. And it doesn't have to be a very elaborate answer, but, getting into these would help a whole lot. So going back to, and then as we see, this is a 26, it's a pretty hard one to get into for a company that has a domain rating of 5. So what we do is we answer this list of, these questions that they're asking us to answer. We answer these questions. while we're building those listings, while we're building all those other things, we build a good, really strong post in reference to Kitchen Cabinetry Orlando, a very strong post. And, you know, while we're doing some optimization, getting these things cleaned up, getting this, you know, kind of more, how do I put it, more professional looking, more legible. I mean, it's a good looking site, don't get me wrong, but we're kind of off centered on this. You need to kind of center that up. The font, honestly, it almost washes out is what I'm trying to get at. So we need to get more contrasting colors here. Maybe clean up the logo a little bit here to give it a little bit cleaner, fresher look. Again, make these call to actions, you know, make this responsive so that way it doesn't chop it up like so, and just kind of clean that up. And while we're doing that, while we're building those social things, building this Instagram, we're answering these questions, we're going to see this change. And as this changes, that domain ranking goes up. Excuse me, I'm kind of clicking around. Y'all know me, I click around a lot. You're going to see that this will be an easier game to get into. Now, let's go back to the keywords. Let's take a look at Manfredo again. And as we can see, we got one down here that's got a 0 keyword difficulty. Bathroom Vanities Orlando. So what's this say? This is going to be easy to get in. So I would almost, on this one, what I would almost do is I would create a page, and it would be bathroom-vanities-Orlando. I would make a really nice YouTube video going around taking videos of all the, or taking photos. There you go, taking photos or even videos. Videos are better, but taking small videos of the bathroom vanities that you've done in the Orlando area. Make those create those just imageries, you know, of that. Neat photos or neat videos of the bathrooms that you've done. And then, you know, make a 5-minute video, turn it around and SEO that YouTube video out, put that YouTube video on this page, Bathroom Vanities Orlando, write a small little bit. I'm willing to wager that there's, when we go look at who is, okay, Yelp's there. Let's go look at these guys. And let's see how much content they actually have. They literally have no, well, yeah, here. This is what you want to look at. That's really all the content that they have. As you can see, they get this set up as an e-commerce. But these guys that we have do all custom work, so e-commerce really ain't going to be their fit. But as you can see, though, there's not really that much content that needs to be written. So, you know, you might do a couple of videos in here. And that way you can test different SEOs on your YouTube to pull those up, and then have a small snippet of content down here. I bet you it's, let's take a quick look. Yeah, we're only looking at about 1,200 words of content, if that, and that would definitely push you into this #1 spot. So what's that do? It tells Google, okay, this is a word that's searched for 200 times every month, and you're ranking #1 for that word. So you must be pretty, you know, big into this Bathroom Vanities Orlando thing. Well, when we look at it, Bathroom Vanities Orlando and Kitchen Cabinetry Orlando, most of those pages work together. So then you would link that one to your Kitchen Cabinetry Orlando, which now you got this big power. You have a URL ranking, and let me show you that real quick. This is your URL ranking. So this URL itself has got a ranking of 5. So we go here. You know, all of them pretty much on this one have a ranking of 5. So doesn't mean they're ranking anywhere, but you know, they've been around long enough that they they got a UR of 5. But we get that number up with this number by writing basically this piece of content, pointing it all to this Kitchen Cabinet Orlando. And then after that, we go and we'll find another one, Orlando Kitchen and Bath. Maybe we do another video, Orlando Kitchen and Bath, rank it up there. Again, just slideshows, and let's just go look at it while we're at it. So let's go look at what these guys are doing. Again, a lot of photos, not much content. So we write a good little piece of content about Orlando Kitchen and Bath, put a few videos of, what you would do is maybe take a video from Orlando, do an Orlando kitchen video of some kitchens that you've done, and some bath videos of some kitchens that you've done. Throw those both in there, SEO them out on YouTube, share them all over social, boost this page up at linking to this Kitchen Cabinet Orlando, linking back to this Kitchen Cabinet Orlando. Now we rank number 1 here, we rank number 1 here. Both of these are linking to this one. I hope you're seeing what I'm saying. So that would be my strategy for this company at this given point. If we wanted to rank for and get this company leads tomorrow, I would start a pay-per-click campaign. I'm just going to wrap it up here. I would start out with a pay-per-click campaign. Actually, my step-by-step, what I would do. First off, which they've already done part of it, they got this they got it SSL'd. Okay. Secondly, I'd clean up this homepage and I would get it on a WordPress website. That way we can do some things quite a bit differently. So I'd get this on WordPress. I'd get to go ahead and start working on my listings, getting all those listings done, and so that I can pay for what I'm doing. Because now I got to put money into a website. I got to put money into getting time. Time is money. I got to put money into these making these YouTube videos, getting them SEO'd out, and get them ranking. All those things are going to take a little bit of money. I think our tool stack. By the way, we got a free version of our tool stack if anybody wants to try it out. And it gives you all of the tools that we talk about in almost all of our videos, and it's free to try for a while and see if it's your fit. Bottom line, if you got a local company, it'll do wonders for you. So anyways, so that tool stack costs money. The YouTube costs time, which costs money. So to pay for that, I would do a pay-per-click campaign. I would probably, again, we're looking at anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per ticket. So we want to try to take 20% of that. So I would start out with about $1,000 a month for the first quarter. I'd do $1,000 a month for the first quarter on pay-per-click. Again, that landing pages, all the landing pages for the pay-per-click, I would make sure that I have my Facebook pixel on. That's another thing. This one doesn't have a Facebook pixel whatsoever on it. So that being said, we're getting zero analytics out of that. And let me double check. Yeah. So we have no tags either. So we're getting no analytics. So that's another thing we need to do is get the Facebook pixel put on there, so that way we're developing audiences by the traffic that we do get, as well as my Google tags. I get my Google tags in here so we can get the analytics from that as well. We got to know what people are doing on this site in order to understand what we need to do to make it better. So that's where those analytics tools come in. So back to point. Listings need to be being done. And then creating these videos I was talking about cost money. Do a pay-per-click campaign of around $1,000 a month. And if we're doing that, maturing that pixel for Facebook as well, I have a strong feeling within 3 to 4 weeks, you'll be getting enough phone calls that if you are able to close, and he said that he has a fairly strong closing rate once he gets them in the door. So you'll make enough revenue from that pay-per-click campaign to pay for that listings, to pay for all the work that's been done on a monthly basis for the next quarter. And then so I would I would create, really honestly, I'd create 3 pages in the first quarter and really work on those. I'd create this Bathroom Vanities Orlando. I'd create that one. I'd create an Orlando Kitchen and Bath. And then I would create Orlando Kitchen Cabinet Orlando. I'd create those 3 pages, and then I would start creating posts. And I would answer these posts right here. So that way we're answering the questions that Google wants. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that I answered all of your questions. If you want to see more about the tools, let me know there, and we'll do more of the tool style videos. I'm actually putting some of them out on a daily, weekly basis. Make sure that, again, please make sure that you're following us on all the platforms that you can find us in. That way, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you can be updated whenever we put out a new video. I hope that you were able to learn something from this audit today. If there's something that you have a question about, or an aspect that I didn't go into that you might need an answer to, let me know. I'd be more than happy to go in and answer those questions for you. If I need to make a video, let me know. I'll have a link in this about that tool stack, the free tool stack that we're putting out, that we have out. So please feel free to hop on there, and you'll get to see, all of our tools and how they work, and hopefully make your local business grow and get your business calls going. Again, thanks for watching. Subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next week. Next week, I think I'm going to do I'm going to do a roofing company next week. That's right. So next week I'm going to look at some roofing SEO stuff, and we're going to look at a roofing company. And if you are a roofing company and you want your company audited, again, hop in there. I'll have the audit link in the bottom. Hop in there, get your, and we'll feature you next week. And just so you know, those that are featured, we set them up with the tool stack. Go ahead and give them a personalized training, getting that tool stack set up. Plus, in our videos and our content that we write about these videos, those also link to your website as well. So you'll get some of these backlinks that they're saying that, that companies, that your URLs are needing. So, again, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week, if not before then. And have a great week. And hopefully you'll find in your true marketing Elysium by watching these videos.